Cleopatra, a name wrapped in mystery, allure, and intrigue, was the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic kingdom of Egypt. This enigmatic queen's reign marked a pivotal point in Egypt's history, the end of an era. Her influence, however, was not limited to her kingdom. The tales of her life, filled with power and passion, have endured for over 2,000 years, a testament to her lasting impact. So, let's dive in, shall we? Let's unravel the enigma that is Cleopatra and count down the top 10 fascinating facts about her life. At number 10, Cleopatra was a master linguist. It is said that she was able to speak 9 languages fluently. Those languages included Greek, Egyptian, and Aramaic, among others. This linguistic prowess wasn't just for show, though. It played a crucial role in her diplomatic endeavors, allowing her to negotiate, bargain, and converse with leaders from different nations without the need for a translator. There was no chance for her to be misunderstood or for a translator to make a mistake. This direct communication often gave her an upper hand in political matters, helping her to maintain Egypt's independence and power during her reign. So when we think of Cleopatra, let's not just remember her as the queen who could charm anyone with her beauty. Let's also remember her as the polyglot queen who used her intellect and linguistic skills to navigate the complex world of politics. Cleopatra was a woman of many tongues, a testament to her impressive intellect. Coming in at number 9, Cleopatra was known for her romantic liaisons. But these were not your typical love stories. 2 of the most powerful men of their time, Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, were utterly captivated by her charm. Cleopatra's relationship with Caesar began when she famously had herself delivered to him, rolled up in a carpet. This bold move sparked a love affair that resulted in a son and secured her return to the throne of Egypt. Then there was Mark Antony, the Roman general with whom she formed an alliance that was as much about love as it was about power. Their relationship, marked by passion and political intrigue, resulted in a marriage and 3 children. This alliance bolstered her influence and power, making her a formidable force in the ancient world. Cleopatra's love affairs were not just matters of the heart, but strategic moves in the game of power. At number 8, Cleopatra left an indelible mark on architecture. During her reign, she initiated various construction projects that would leave a lasting legacy. She commissioned the building of magnificent temples, grand statues, and opulent palaces, all of which were designed with intricate details and exquisite craftsmanship. These architectural marvels were not just for show, they were symbols of her power, wealth, and influence, a testament to the prosperity of her kingdom. Among the most notable structures from her reign include the Caesareum of Alexandria, a temple she initially dedicated to Mark Antony, which was later repurposed to honor the Roman Emperor Caesar Augustus. Cleopatra also commissioned the construction of a grand palace complex in Alexandria, her capital city, which boasted lush gardens, extravagant living quarters, and a grand library. These architectural feats still inspire awe and admiration centuries after they were built. Cleopatra's reign was a time of architectural splendor, her legacy etched in stone. At number 7, Cleopatra was a formidable military strategist. Her shrewdness wasn't confined to the political arena. On the battlefield, she was just as astute. Her strategic alliances were key to her military successes. One notable alliance was with Mark Antony, a Roman military leader. This partnership fortified her position and led to several victories. Cleopatra's involvement in the Battle of Actium is particularly noteworthy. This was a naval battle that marked a significant turning point in the history of Rome. Although the battle ended in defeat for Cleopatra and Antony, it showcased Cleopatra's strategic acumen and her ability to put up a fierce fight against formidable opponents. Her military prowess was not just about forming alliances and commanding armies. It was also about understanding the nuances of warfare and using them to her advantage. Cleopatra was not just a queen, but a military leader, proving that she was as formidable in war as she was in politics. Number 6 on our list, Cleopatra had an exotic pet collection. The Queen of Egypt was not only a lover of power and luxury, but also of the wild and exotic. Her collection of pets was not your typical assortment of dogs and cats, no. Cleopatra was known to keep creatures as majestic and dangerous as leopards and cheetahs. These animals, symbols of strength and speed, reflected her own fierce spirit. But her fascination didn't stop at big cats. She also had a fondness for the mighty hippopotamus. These enormous semi-aquatic mammals, native to the Nile, were likely a symbol of her connection to the life-giving river and the power it represented. These creatures weren't just pets to Cleopatra. They were living, breathing symbols of her wealth, her power, and her command over nature. Cleopatra's exotic pets were a testament to her wealth, power, and eccentricity. At number 5, Cleopatra's beauty might have been greatly exaggerated. This is a fascinating point of discussion as it challenges the traditional narrative that Cleopatra was a stunning beauty. It's believed that Cleopatra's allure stemmed more from her charisma, intelligence, and political acumen than from her physical appearance. There are historical records and coin imprints that suggest she might have been quite average-looking by today's standards. The coins from her reign show a woman with a large, hooked nose and a pronounced chin. However, beauty is subjective, and standards of attractiveness have evolved and varied throughout history. It's important to remember that Cleopatra's power and influence were not solely tied to her looks, as Hollywood has led us to believe. She was a brilliant strategist, a skilled diplomat, and a powerful ruler. Ultimately, it was Cleopatra's charm and intelligence that likely played a greater role in her allure than her physical beauty. At number 4, Cleopatra was of Greek, not Egyptian, descent. This might be surprising to some, given her iconic status in Egyptian history. But let's delve into her lineage. Cleopatra was the last in the line of the Ptolemaic dynasty, a family of Greek origin that ruled Egypt after Alexander the Great's death. The Ptolemies maintained their Hellenistic traditions, living in the Greek quarter of Alexandria rather than the ancient Egyptian capital, Memphis. They spoke Greek and followed Greek customs, often marrying within the family to preserve their pure Macedonian bloodline. Despite this Greek heritage, Cleopatra was different. She was the first in her dynasty to learn the Egyptian language. She often represented herself in the traditional Egyptian style, wearing the headdress of an Egyptian queen, and even declared herself the reincarnation of the Egyptian goddess, Isis. Cleopatra, a Greek by blood, was Egyptian at heart. Number 3 reveals Cleopatra as a clever diplomat. In a world of power plays and political chess, Cleopatra stood out. She was a master of diplomacy, using her wit and charm to navigate treacherous political waters. Whether it was negotiating alliances with Rome's most influential leaders or maintaining peace within her own kingdom, Cleopatra knew how to influence and persuade. Her intelligence and cunning were not just for the battlefield, but also for the boardroom. Cleopatra's diplomatic skills were a key factor in her successful reign. Number 2, Cleopatra is closer in time to the moon landing than to the Great Pyramids. Cleopatra's birth occurred approximately 2,500 years following the construction of the Great Pyramid of Khufu at Giza. Surprisingly, she came into the world 2,038 years prior to the historic US moon landing in 1969. This intriguing revelation indicates that Cleopatra lived closer to our modern era than to the time often associated with her. Such a fact underscores the vast expanse of ancient Egyptian history, highlighting its enduring impact across millennia. Finally, at number 1, the mysterious death of Cleopatra. The last breath of this enigmatic queen has been shrouded in mystery and intrigue for over 2,000 years. The most popular belief is that Cleopatra committed suicide by allowing an asp, a venomous Egyptian serpent, to bite her. This theory, however, is but one of many. Some historians argue that she may have been murdered, a casualty in the power struggles of the time. Others suggest that Cleopatra may have used a poisonous ointment or sharp implement to end her life. Each theory is as tantalizing and elusive as the next, echoing the complex and multifaceted nature of Cleopatra herself. Despite the uncertainty, one thing remains clear: Cleopatra's death marked the end of an era and the beginning of a legend that would endure for millennia. Cleopatra's life was as intriguing as her death, preserving her legacy as one of history's most fascinating figures.